Hi guys. Um, I just put a video out, and I that will be up. Yeah, that's going to be up before this one is. And it was the leaked chapter in the book. I believe it's called "Pieces of Me," and it is a book by Kathleen Houston and Cindy Watts, who is Christopher Watts, the guy from Colorado who killed his wife and his two children and one unborn children and put their bodies into oil tanks, if you remember that, back in August of 2018. And I am aware now, I should have thought of that beforehand. I had a comment in there that somebody said I should probably tell a little introduction as to who this person is, what are we listening about? And because I'm just so engulfed into listening to all this information and reading all the information, I guess I just assume foolishly that everybody knows what I'm talking about, what the case is, what's going on, all that. And that's just not so. So thank you, JN, for that, for reminding me to put a little video like this out just to kind of update people. This story, he basically has gone up and down and up and down as far as the popularity. It's stayed very, very popular, but something new always comes up. And right now, the new thing that has come up is that he has corresponded with a woman who wrote a book called Letters from Christopher. In it, he gives a whole other new tale of how he killed his family and the reasons why and what have you. And I do have that book. I am aware that the author, Carolyn Cadle, is giving strikes upon people who are reading it. And I understand it is her work. You can't just, copy it and say it online. I understand that. But you are able to kind of give a little synopsis of what each chapter is about. And I have read the book. The book, it was hard to get. It was a book that was one of those kind of vanity publishing where you self-publish. And it was the site that put it out really messed up. Amazon sold out real quick. I went to a bunch of the different Walmarts around here who carried it and couldn't seem to find it there. They would say that they had copies of it, but they couldn't find it. I did finally get it through Amazon, through a third-party seller. I do have it now. I'm done with it, like so done with it, and I just don't even want it in my house. So I will leave a link below, or my email address below. Anybody who wants it, I will send it to you. I just basically want it out of my house. My take on the book is it's just very rushed out. You can see there's so many things spelled wrong, poor grammar. She doesn't even get the spelling of Shanann Ruchek, her family name, right. It's bad. And it was really hyped up that it was going to be a whole bunch of new things, and it just really wasn't. If you watched YouTube videos, you've got basically the couple things new that have come out. He said, if you remember, the FBI revisited him in Wisconsin, where he is currently serving his life sentence without parole. He was moved from Colorado to Wisconsin for his protection, and that's where he is now. And they came back out there as a surprise. He didn't know that they were coming, and he said that that's why he was angry and didn't really even give them a true response when they came back out, because they kind of wanted some more answers. This case, for the people who have followed it, went so quickly because he did it, and then they took him in, and he had his father in there, and he confessed, without a lawyer present. I've never seen that a case of this this size, of this grossness, and it just went so fast, and he didn't even ask for a lawyer present, and all of that, and then he just, fell on his sword, or so he likes to spin it, where he just took the punishment, and he was convicted, and the Ruchek family didn't want to have the death penalty, so they really were out there championing him for not getting the death penalty. And so he got the consecutive life sentences. So he most likely will never see any time out of prison. And it's just something that people have been wondering about because of his character. He has just, he never anybody has said anything about him but just good things. A shy person, a really amazing family man. Even Shanann's family said he was just the perfect son-in-law, the perfect father. And anyways, I'll make this short, because I could just keep on going on about this, and there's going to be a lot to this. I'm really excited to kind of delve into this and get some guests on here and give a different side of thing and have people ask questions. And there's a lot of new information out there, a lot of new theories, a lot of different just angles to go as to why you think it's all done, but it's really not in public opinion. So what I had read was on the J is for Justice channel, they had on a woman, and her name is Mel. And she is best friends since childhood of Christopher Watts's sister, Jamie. And she's kind of been their, unofficial spokesperson, and has kind of tried to say their side of things out there. And Christopher Watts's mother, Cindy, wants to write a book or have a part of a book just to have her say in how she feels about everything. And I am aware right now that Shanann's mother is going to be writing a book too. So you're going to get the different sides out there. And part of Christopher Watts's mother's entries into this book have already been published on Reddit. And this right now, it's going to be, people had thought it was really Cindy Watts's book, but it's actually Kathleen Houston's book, and she's just going to be part of it. And this was the first chapter that was given to Mel, the family friend, to read on J is for Justice's channel. And that'll be another video that I do coming up really quickly, because I was there that night, and there was a lot of brouhaha because it was hard to hear the audio of her reading it. It was like she walked away from the phone, or it just was kind of going in and out. Plus, it seemed a little bit harder to read. And with the sarcasm, people got, in my opinion, the wrong idea about it right away. They got the idea that it was blaming Shanann. And how I took it, which is I believe how the author intended it, was really just slams on Christopher. It was really, sarcasm. And, that's why I wanted to put the book, the chapter, in my description box, but it was too long to paste there. So I do have my email address. If anybody wants to write me, I will copy and paste you so you can read it for yourself, because it's much better to read it for yourself to really get the gist of how the author intended it. And remember, it is how her style is a very sarcastic style of writing. Some people may think it's, inappropriate to have a joke in something that's so serious. But I happen to think it really just gets the point across. And when I've ever written things in the past too, yes, little known fact is I used to like to write a lot. I did. In fact, anyway, I'll get into that later. It's kind of a funny little story, but not about this. So, and then there was some fighting that went on in the room, and it was just all one big misunderstanding. And like I said, a video on that because I was there, and I was there in Jul's channel, who is another person who reports on true crime afterwards, to get her take on things. And my opinion, she got it completely wrong as well. Anyways, it's all about this chapter that I just read. And people are very protective, as I understand, of Shanann, and you don't want to do any sort of victim blaming or anything like that. And I think it's just so public. People are trying to understand it. People are trying to comprehend it. I know that it's an impossible story because you feel for both families. You feel for the Rucheks and you feel for the Watts families. You feel you just have questions because you want to make sure you know the signs so this doesn't happen again. You want to make sense out of what is nonsensical. But that is what I wrote. And it is a question that I think a lot of people had, which is why I'm glad that the author took it on as her first kind of case question in the chapter, was why did you kill the children? It seems a basic question, but the way that she worded it was how I was thinking in my head, which, you know, to me tells me that many people had that same thought of, you know, you could have, like right now, as I speak, a couple days before Halloween, you could have been out there in your own apartment. You could have been divorced. You could have been with Nicole. You didn't have to do all this. And the stories that they've given just don't pass the smell test. They don't. And I don't know if he even knows the answer. That's could be very well. If he's hiding something, people just want to know. And it's so public. I don't think it's going anywhere. I just don't. So there's a lot of different avenues that we're going to be talking about in these series of videos that I'm going to do. And I am excited about this. I do have another channel that I started, and I'm starting it on here because this is where I have my biggest audience. I would like to slowly but surely transfer people over to my other channel, and I will link that in the description box below. A lot of stuff linked, right? So you guys can, you know, make your way over there, and please subscribe to me there because that's where I want to go. I know that there are other channels out there like Mommy Ramblings blog, who I love, who does crafts, who does, you know, Dollar Tree hauls, and who also does true crime. So I could do all of that stuff on this channel. And I just may, because I know having a lot of different channels sometimes is, I don't know, too messy, and I don't want to, you know, keep up with all of that. But anyways, I hope that answers the question. If anybody else has any other questions, please feel free to write them below. Please comment and subscribe and click the like or the dislike button. I truly don't care. It is engagement, and that's all that matters. And I will see you very shortly for another video, and have a great night.